On this week's weekly video fishing forecast, Fisherman senior editor Fred Golofaro has a rundown on all the species that open in April. I answer a viewer's question on when to use a sinking popper or a floating popper, and a preview on the April edition of the Fisherman magazine, plus our correspondents reporting from around the island, all here at thenewfisherman.com.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
It's April 1st, and this is no April Fool's prank. Check out Matt Ervolino's monster white perch and pending New York State record. Matt caught this 2.93-pound beast on the South Shore of Tidal Creek. We'll give you an update when the record is finalized. Nice job, Matt. Now let's check in with News 12 meteorologist Rich Von Ohlen with an outlook of this weekend's weather.
All right, thanks, Matt. Hey, guys, let's check the weekend forecast, see what we got going on here. We'll go with the weather maps and water temps. Still chilly, a lot of 40s here across the ocean in the Sound. We need some more time to kind of warm things up, but we're getting there slowly but surely. Just give it some time. All right, wave heights. Saturday, the ocean. Overall, not a bad-looking weekend. We're looking pretty good here. You got 2 to 4s inshore. It's going to be kind of choppy, but I don't think really too rough. I think you should be able to get out there, party boat, charter boat. Anything you want to do in the ocean, go for a cruise, shakedown cruise. I think we're fine. 2 to 4 in the ocean along Jones Beach, Fire Island, out to Mauritius, out to Montauk Point. Saturday, Sunday, both looking very good. I think it's going to be a decent, early April weekend. Not bad. All right, so the winds northwest about, 10 to 20. There'll be a little bit of a chop there, so just watch the wind chop here for Saturday. Sunday, same kind of thing, southwest and northwest, about 5 to 15, some gusts to 20, but nothing terrible. Could be a few showers Sunday afternoon, but overall, looks like a decent weekend for doing some fishing. 50s on Saturday, 50s again on Sunday, so it's a cool weekend. Check out the Guru quickly and see what we got going on, and it looks like, not bad. A little northwest there. You can see that chop there for Saturday, but the seas aren't too bad. That's a wind chop. And then Sunday right there, southwest to a little west-northwest variable. So I think if I had to pick, I'd probably say Sunday perhaps is going to be better of the weekend days. But overall, weekend's not too bad. Great fishing. It's April. Blackfish season is in full force, and the bass will be here soon. Enjoy, get out, be safe. Matt, back to you.
Remember, be sure to check out News 12 for the latest weather before you head out on the water. The April issue of the Fisherman magazine is now on newsstands and on the way to subscribers. Check out Max Christensen's article on new tactics for sea bass. Toby Lipinski has a 2021 buyer's guide for fishing kayaks. And by the way, the Coastal Kayak Clash is back, and all the details are in the April Fisherman magazine or on the website at thefisherman.com. Be sure to check out my spring playbook on targeting stripers, along with plenty more in the April issue. I had a question sent to me from one of the viewers, and he was wondering when to use a sinking popper versus a floating popper while surf casting. I have some personal insights on this question. It all comes down to setting and conditions for me. First, let's start off with the lighter floating popper. Typically with this lure, I'm casting it in the back bays with little to no wave action. The neat little thing about using one of these is that I can work this lure as slow as I want or speed it up if that's what the fish want on a certain day. Some days I'm working the lure so slow that I wait a solid 3 or 4 seconds between pops, and this method can get the most vicious strikes at times. The downside to using this lure is you're limited with casting distance, but typically in the back bays this doesn't make much of a difference. Now, moving on over to the sinking popper. First off, if you're looking to get distance, this is the lure to go with. This popper weighs much more than its floating counterpart. If fish are blitzing out far, or I'm looking to reach a far piece of structure, this lure really comes in handy. With a headwind, this lure will cut right through it and still get you superior distance. Usually, this is my choice on the open beach. One other cool thing I use the sinking popper for is long-distance swimming plug situations. The heavier model swims like a metal up if allowed to sink and retrieve slowly. Even in night fishing situations, I'll cast this popper out when I know fish are at the end of my cast. The castability of it keeps me catching fish when other lures won't reach. Whether it's day or night, I typically have one of these lures in my bag. Versatility is a big plus for this lure. Now let's check in with Fisherman senior editor Fred Golofaro, who has a kickoff to all the spring openings. Fred?
Hey, thanks, Matt. And April 1st is kind of the official start of fishing season around these parts, especially since we have a lot of season openings. On the freshwater side, by April 1st, most of the lakes and ponds, I would say all the lakes and ponds, by then we'll have at least their first stocking of trout, so that's good news for you freshwater guys. On the saltwater scene, flounder season opens April 1st, runs through May 30th. There's a 2 fish per day bag, 12-inch size limit. And let's face it, flounder fishing is not what it used to be for those of you who can remember back to bucket filling days of flounder fishing. But it's still nice. It's an excuse to get out on the water and spend some time with friends and maybe catch a couple of flounder and put a flounder dinner together. Blackfish season, the spring season, also opens April 1st. That runs till the end of the month. The first couple of years with that spring season didn't produce hardly at all. Last year was actually pretty good. The fall seasons have been good the last couple of years, and it just seems like there's more blackfish around, so I'm expecting some decent action this April on blackfish. Unlike the fall with the different regulations and all, blackfish are 16 inches, that's on the North Shore and the South Shore, and 2 fish per day bag. The fall regulations and season we'll get into when the time comes. Porgies are now open all year. Typically, boats would start sailing May 1st for them. I got a feeling guys are going to be targeting them before the end of this month this year. There's a good chance that there'll be some good fishing in Peconic Bay again. A lot of guys look forward to that. And that should happen, like I said, even before the end of the month. Striped bass season officially opens April 1st on the Hudson River. That's north of the GW Bridge. Regulations up there are different than what we have down in the Marine District. It's 1 fish. The slot up there is 1 fish between 18 and 28 inches or 18 to 28 inches. Down here in the Marine District, the season opens April 15th, runs through December 15th. And the slot, again, is 28 inches to 35 inches, so you can keep anything from 28 to 35. Bigger or smaller has to go back and release them as quickly and carefully as you can. And don't forget, the circle hook rule is in effect now. If you're doing any bait fishing for striped bass, whether it's in the Hudson or down in the Marine District, you need to use an inline circle hook. We are getting quite a few striped bass reports already. Raritan Bay has apparently lit up. Quite a few big fish we're hearing about now being caught there. And even on the beaches, some of the Staten Island shoreline guys the last couple of days have been reporting some good action with bass, mostly 10 to 12 pounds, but some fish into the teens. Heard of some fish in Little Neck Bay already, not surprising, it's that time of the year. Haven't heard anything specifically from Manhasset Bay, but you can expect, Manhasset Bay and all the harbors there, Hempstead Harbor, Cold Spring Harbor, those areas to start producing very soon if they haven't already. Down in the South Fork beaches, I know when the Hall Seiners used to work freely along those beaches, the beginning of April they always caught lots of schoolfish. I can remember a couple of seasons when the first week of April there was decent schoolie action at places like Ditch Plains and along the Napeague shoreline, East Hampton shoreline. So that's very likely going to happen now. I know a friend of mine was driving Ocean Parkway late last week. He said there were birds working in the wash from Gilgo all the way past Tow Bay, almost to Jones Beach. And there is a lot of bait moving in the ocean. There's herring, there's shad, but there's also a good chance those were those schoolies, a lot of those fish that we were catching last fall, they should be moving along the beaches very soon. Same goes for the bays, Great South Bay, Peconic Bay, the West End bays. They should start coming to life, fish coming out of some of the tidal creeks where they've been wintering all winter, and some newly arriving fish getting into those areas also. So things are starting to happen. Weather's going to only get better, so try to get out, make some time. Matt, back to you.
Only a week and a half to go on the big Marine Made Spring Open House in Windenhurst. Lowest prices of the year on bottom paint and everything boating. Plus daily raffles and big grand prizes just for shopping. Visit marinemate.com for all the details. With our fly and freshwater report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. Well, I came up here to visit my daughter over at Oswego, and it's really been great weather and all that. And here on the way home, I told my wife I have to stop and check out the Beaver Kill and the Will Remack. And I have to tell you, the water's a little high, but clear. It's an amazing amount. At this time of year, normally it's like chocolate milk, but it's really going to be a great opening day. unless it snows, which it's supposed to do on Thursday. Here I am, 65 degrees. Thursday, it's going to be 30 degrees. Well, this is spring. Starting here, stripers are showing up in the western part of the island. I think if we keep getting the warm weather that we have, it's going to be a great, great spring. I believe it is. So until next week, tight lines, everybody.
Let's check in with Chris Ludwig, who's always doing something outside the box.
Hey, thanks, Matt. What's going on, guys? So this past week, I stepped away from the pickerel fishing. I did get a small largemouth bass. That was pretty cool. But other than that, I've been concentrating on the backwaters of my local area, moving around to different locations to see what's going on with the bait. There's been a really good amount of spearing around, which is pretty cool to see, and large adult bunker very close to the marshes these past couple nights. I mean, they've really been pushing up. So I've been fishing around them, trying to get bit. It has not happened yet, but hopefully we'll see some bass around. Everything's looking really good, and we should be seeing some action shortly. At least I hope so. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.
From the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, let's check in with Captain Al Lorrenzetti.
Hey Matt, Captain Lorrenzetti here, Fire Island Report. Flounder season is open, so it looks like it's going to be a great weekend coming up and a good opportunity to get out there and test the waters, so I look forward to doing that myself. And also, a couple of the capture boats are running and they're hitting the wrecks offshore and they're doing pretty well with cod and ling. And so that's another good opportunity, Matt. So it looks like things are starting to shape up. We have a good season coming up ahead of us, and that's it for this week. Talk to you next week, Matt.
From Oceanside, we have Captain Joey Leggio.
Hey Matt, what's going on, brother? So, Deb's Inlet, the bait is here, and it's a lot of bait. Like, when I say you could walk across the bunker, you could literally walk across these bunker. I took a boat ride, just prospecting and see what we could see. Went into the back bays of my neck of the woods, and the bunker was just stacked. Trying to cast a bucktail, see if there's any small stripers, bluefish, anything around under this bait. Just kept snagging bunker, even on the bucktails. It was crazy. Just too many to even try. But the water in the back bays was 54 degrees on my machine, so it's starting to climb, so that's a good sign. Hopefully these jumbo blues will be behind these bunker. I don't know. But some of the weird things, though, I put a crab trap in trying to get some green crabs for the opening day, and I had 5 blue claws in one and 6 in the other. I thought it would be a little early for the blue claws, but they were potted, so I thought that was real crazy. You know, nothing big, but whatever, still blue claws. Like, not one green crab, though. That's basically it for the reports. Also, guys, if you notice I'm wearing some high-heel clothing, it's a local company right out of Baldwin. Give them a check out. You know, it's a local company. Support the local shops. And that's it for my report. Back to you, Matt. Talk to you soon, buddy.
Captain Mike Century has the latest from Staten Island. Mike?
Thanks, Tim, Fred, and Matt. Hope all is well, guys. Well, folks, anglers in the Raritan Bay are absolutely slamming the striped bass. Bass of every shape and size are here, up to 58 pounds. Local news has been showing an angler holding a nice bass, presumably be around 48 to 58 pounds. As for me in the Raritan Bay, every single cast using swim shads from 2, 3, and 4 ounce, chartreuse and white, and of course your stretch plugs have been producing all the bass. Zero bait I've been using. On Tuesday, went out solo trip in the AM, and by the end of the day, a little over maybe 4 to 5 hours, a little over 65 bass, ranging from 17 inches to 35 pounds were caught and released. Wednesday's trip had angler Chris on board, and it was on fire again. Bass of every size up to 41 inches. Using the same techniques as Tuesday, and around 40 or so bass were caught. Folks, please check out my Facebook page, Anglers of Legend Sportfish, and would love to make your trip a success. Back to you, Matt.
Remember to like our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we post a new video on YouTube. And of course, be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine and to be part of the Dreamboat contest and Coastal Kayak Clash. Check out this video's description on YouTube for all the related links and more information. And please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and social media pages. Let the fishing begin. See you right here next week at the allnewfisherman.com.
Steigercraft boats, built by people who fish our waters. Serious anglers choose Steigercraft for their 40 years of boat building experience right here in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. Visit steigercraft.com for a dealer near you.